Hey everyone, it's Gossip Dolls here, and this is my 2022 All My Dolls video. I haven't made one of these since 2020, and things have definitely changed a little bit, so thought it'd be nice to give you guys an update. Carol is my first doll, and I got her for Christmas in 2010. Since she's my oldest doll, she's been in a lot of my videos, especially my older ones. As I've gotten new dolls over the years, she's been in fewer of my stop motions, but I still really like her and I'm happy to have her. Carol wasn't always in charge of the dollhouse. She was meant to look like me. I didn't really think of myself as responsible enough to have my mini-me be a leader. In some of my older stop motions, you can see Nellie is the main leader in the dollhouse, but that has since been changed to Carol and Kaylee. Carol being my mini-me meant it was really hard for me to give her a personality, since I always felt like she should just reflect me. Although we don't exactly look the same anymore, we have a few things in common, like how we both love music and AGTube. Next is Kaylee. I got her from a consignment sale at a church in spring 2011, but for some reason completely forgot about that like immediately and decided that her birthday is October 20th instead. My friend and I had a birthday party for her back in 2012 or 2013, and I added it as an event on my iPod, and it still shows up on my calendar every year. Kaylee's the one doll that I collected for as a child. Since she had a small collection, my mom and I would look for her items in thrift stores and on eBay. It was really fun trying to find her items, especially since she was a very old girl of the year, so she was really special to me. For a while, her personality was just crazy because all of my dolls were when I was 10, but now that I've had more time to develop her character, I think she's funny, she likes summer and going to the beach, is responsible, but is tired of the chaos in the dollhouse. Out of all of the friendships in my doll collection, Carol and Kaylee's is the strongest, and they've been besties for almost 10 years now. This is Nellie, who I got for Christmas in 2012. I always loved Samantha's books as a child, and even remember reading Changes for Samantha on Christmas Eve when I couldn't sleep. So I was super excited when I went downstairs on Christmas morning and found Nellie there. However, I think she was a bit overshadowed by Caroline, who I got about 2 weeks later. I almost sold her a couple of times, which is why she wasn't in my last On My Dolls video, but I've decided to keep her instead. She's never had a super developed personality because of the reasons I mentioned from Kaylee and the fact that I haven't used her much recently, so I've been working on that. But I think she loves planning things and giving advice to people, though sometimes she can be a bit bossy. She's also besties with Ghost Samantha, but not regular Samantha, and doesn't seem to mind the fact that she's probably being haunted. I received Caroline for my 10th birthday from the AG Plays Atlanta on January 5th, 2013. My mom loves to tell the story that as soon as my Nana walked into the store, her eyes glazed over and she was just amazed and had 2 doll boxes in her hand within a minute. I do remember that within about 10 minutes of entering the store, she was already asking me if I wanted Caroline or Sage, and I inevitably ended up choosing Caroline. Caroline has always had a really dynamic personality in the dollhouse. I've always considered her to be the youngest doll, so she's naive and energetic, and she's really smart. She just lacks common sense. I found her lookalike on Twitter. Caroline, you're like 12. Who let you on Twitter? Lucas, my 16th birthday was 7 months ago.
Caroline, how did you even get ordained? Aren't you like 12? Lucas, for the last time, I am 17. Anyway, I just followed a WikiHow tutorial. It was pretty simple.
Don't you have to be at least 13 to make an account? I'm 18. What is it with everyone thinking that I'm a child? Ruthie keeps telling me that you guys are historical dolls, but I don't even know what that means. Ah! That's me! She's usually causing trouble in the dollhouse, but doesn't really have any ill intentions. She just is like that. I bought Leah online with my birthday money, and she ended up arriving in the mail on January 27th, 2016. I had a show choir competition that day, so I opened her up when I got home at 11 p.m. I like to say that Leah is what caused me to start my channel. I started making stop motions again right before I got her, and as soon as I got her, I had a new doll to make even more stop motions about. I even started a series for her, but never ended up uploading the videos to my channel. Leah has been the star of many of my stop motions and photos on AGIG, and as you can probably tell, she was definitely my favorite doll for a while. I don't use her as much nowadays, but she's been making a comeback on my AGTube because she's really fun to write into AGSM scripts. Hey guys, what's going on here? Kin drama. She's always been funny and a bit sarcastic and annoyed easily, especially by Caroline. She also loves to bake and gets nostalgic for random years that probably weren't that great. 2020 was such a good year. I wouldn't say that exactly. Oh, for our channel, I mean. I got Sierra from AG Place New York on May 1st, 2016, and opened her up on the airport before we flew back. So that makes Sierra the first doll I got after making my channel. She got her own introduction video, which was the start of a few of my AGSMs in 2016. Sierra and Leah have always been best friends, and I think their personalities complement each other well. Kanani on eBay in 2016, and she came in the mail on August 9th. She made her debut in the second part of Doll Detectives, and has been used in a lot of my stop motion since then, especially in 2020 after I rewigged her. She's mainly played other characters in my stop motions, especially the main character in my 2020 summer movie, so I haven't had much of a chance to develop her personality through scripts. However, I think she's responsible and a rule follower, but probably needs to break out of her comfort zone more. This is Harper. My mom and brother found her at a thrift store on July 24th, 2017, and then got her for me as a surprise. I rewigged her in December of 2017 and used her a lot in my videos in 2018, as well as 4 of the 5 intros I made that year. In 2020, she went through a few other changes before going back to her original look. I've also been using her as my mini-me more recently since I think we look pretty similar. She's more easygoing and adventurous to balance out her bestie Kanani, and I like to think that she goes through different phases a lot to match up with her wig changes. She was originally the edgy one, but she definitely followed the emo to K-pop pipeline. I got Penelope from AG Place Nashville on July 8th, 2018, and she made her debut on my channel as a star of my Comforting Sounds AGMV. She was also the star of the Warm Glow AGMV in 2019 and was a main character in my series that I never actually ended up finishing and is no longer available on my channel. She also had the bad eyes, but I had no idea when I first got her, so in December 2019 I sent her off to the doll hospital with Luciana to get her eyes replaced, and she's good as new now. She's very dedicated to playing the violin and is very much an introvert. She doesn't like parties that much, but enjoys smaller gatherings with her friends. I got Evie from my bestie Zoe on July 12th, 2018. She didn't have an introductory AGSM, but the first video she was in was the Comforting Sounds AGMV, and her first main role in a stop motion was my Expedition vs. Reality collab. Evie is an extrovert, sarcastic, likes gardening and traveling, and also cannot cook. I received Luciana for Christmas in 2018, and she made her debut that year in my New Year's Eve AGSM. I didn't use her that much until I sent her off to the eye exchange in December 2019 because she had the bad eyes, so I'm really glad that I got her fixed. Because of that, she hasn't had a super defined personality. Hey guys, what are you doing? A new doll is joining the family, so we were tasked with showing her around. Really, they've put us in tour guide duties so we can develop personalities. But she generally gets along with everyone in the dollhouse and really likes science and math. So I got Chloe on July 10th, 2019 after my friends Zoe and Lewis found her at a thrift store along with Rory, who we no longer own, Serena, who's complicated, and Ruthie, who I'll get to later. Chloe went through many identities during her brief run on my channel back in 2019. She started out as Irina and went through a wig change that lasted for only about a week, was changed to a boy doll for yet another week, and then was retired to sitting on top of the dollhouse shelves until I could get a new wig for her. And finally, that day came on February 4th, 2022, when I came home from college and finally gave her this beautiful new wig. It's a Kira wig, and I think it looks pretty close to her original one. Because she hasn't been on my channel since 2019, she hasn't had much of a chance to establish her personality, but she made her grand re-entrance with a surprise Valentine, and will hopefully be in some more videos coming this summer. I got Kalina locally off of Craigslist on June 21st, 2020. She ended up being in really good condition, and I was super excited that she was only a few minutes away from where I live. She made her debut on my channel as a minor character in my 2020 summer movie, and was officially introduced in the Twins AGSM. Kalina became sort of the star of my channel on AGIG in 2020 and most of 2021. I entered her into Macy J Loves AG's Masked Doll competition, and then entered her into AGNDM Cycle 7 right after that and got 3rd place, so I ended up posting a lot of photos of her. Kalina is extroverted and very competitive and thinks she's more of a celebrity than she really is because she was on AGNDM.
Anyway, this means that I'll get to meet Monica! Which is important because it's only the most important moment of my career. We were AGNDM stars together and I'll be meeting. Can you think of a more Instagrammable moment? I don't think so.
Here's Marnie. I got her for Christmas back in 2020, which was honestly a surprise to me because I don't know if you guys saw, but when she leaked, she honestly wasn't my favorite, but she's definitely grown on me since then, and she's my mom's favorite doll. I used her in a couple of my stop motions before eye swapping her last summer, but I honestly love her so much more post eye swap, and you guys on Instagram seem to really like her too. I ended up taking her to college with me in my first semester, and I filmed a couple of AGSMs, and I have her back with me once again. Marnie is very positive and outgoing and gets along well with pretty much everyone. She's besties with Celia and Evie, who I'll get to in a minute, and she loves painting, thrifting, and listens to mainly indie music. I found Celia at a thrift store on my 18th birthday. That day, I was having a birthday party with a few of my friends, and we decided on a whim to drive to the same thrift store I found Harper at a couple of years ago. Finding Celia was a total surprise, and I think it's kind of funny that my first purchase as an adult was an AG doll. She made her debut on my channel with introducing Celia, which was the first introductory AGSM I had posted in about 2 years by that point. As for her personality, all of Celia's interests are a little obscure, especially all of the niche music she listens to. She frequents music rating websites and is always tracking her streams on Last.fm. She can get a little pretentious with her interests sometimes, but she doesn't try to be. She's also besties with Evie and Marnie, but doesn't know the other members of the dollhouse very well. I received Evie in a doll swap with emeralds and amethyst on March 15th, 2021. Caroline sent me some very cute things with her, and I sent her my old Rebecca doll with some accessories in exchange. Evie is very observant and is usually the only one who knows anything about what's going on in the dollhouse. Has anyone noticed that Samantha is like slightly transparent? Yeah, where have you guys been this whole time? Not all of us can be as observant as you. I know. I brought a cat into the house one time and no one even noticed. Wait, what?
Caroline, she's right. Where did you come from? Nowhere. She knows too much.
She's very quiet and tends to go unnoticed, which is how she ends up finding out about so much information. Her best friends are Marnie and Celia, and she's also best friends with Lainey and Emmy from Emeralds and Amethyst.
Evie knows even more. She's here too, which is scary.
Evie only knows so much because we were best friends.
Emmy, you're real!
And here's Lucas. Lucas has been through many different forms throughout the years. His base doll was originally Caroline in 2019, then it was Ruthie in 2020, and finally in 2021 he became a Mary Grace mold out of my old custom Estella. I'm considering him a new doll in this iteration because his face mold changed, but he's still the same Lucas as before. Hey Lucas, you look different. I got plastic surgery. Wouldn't that technically be vinyl surgery? Lucas is Caroline's older brother and generally disagrees with her and doesn't quite understand her schemes. He's pretty responsible and has a really good memory and tries to be funny even if it doesn't always land. He gets along with pretty much everyone in the dollhouse besides Caroline though. I received Samantha on May 16th, 2021 as a graduation gift. As I mentioned earlier, I loved Samantha's books when I was younger, so I was super excited to finally get her. So, Samantha plays 2 different characters in my stop motions. Ghost Samantha was the first one I introduced, and I mainly just made her a ghost as a joke because I thought it'd be kind of funny to have a historical character that was still historical but like lived in the present. A few months later, I was dressing Samantha in modern clothes, and I realized that it'd be kind of funny to have a modern Samantha character too, so I decided to just have 2 different characters played by her. So, Ghost Samantha isn't exactly like the historical character, but she's definitely very stubborn. She doesn't haunt the house necessarily, but she is a ghost and does definitely cause mischief. As for modern Samantha, she likes wearing vintage clothes, her favorite holiday is Valentine's Day, she wants to be a librarian, and she probably runs a study blog on Tumblr. She is very much unfortunately a victim of identity theft because of Ghost Samantha, and them having the same name does not really help. And this is Talia. I got her when I went with some friends to the AG Place Nashville on January 4th, 2022 for my 19th birthday. I had to film her unboxing video in the car, so the video isn't super great. On January 6th, I eye swapped her and Ruthie to give her gray eyes. I originally wanted to give her brown eyes, but I wasn't able to get any before I moved back to college, so I just used what I had. Over spring break, I finally gave her the brown eyes I'd always wanted to, and I think she looks so cute now. Danae has always been on my wish list, so I'm super excited to have her now. Talia was introduced in the Imposter AGSM. Fun fact, that video was actually supposed to introduce 2 other dolls. The scenes with Ruthie and Louisa and Lucas and Caroline were supposed to introduce a doll that ended up getting lost in the mail, while the Ghost Samantha AGSM plot was originally supposed to introduce Talia last fall, as I was planning on buying Danae secondhand, but it didn't end up working out. This year, I put together the 3 AGSM plots, adapted the scenes, and finally introduced Talia. Talia loves ice skating, speaks several languages, and everyone in the dollhouse is secretly in love with her. She's also a huge Swiftie and really loves Phoebe Bridgers and Reina Sawayama. So, Jamie has been through a lot. He started out as Ruthie from the thrift store group and was entered into AGNDM Cycle 4 for 2 episodes before being eliminated. Then, he was changed to Lucas, the second iteration of my first boy doll, and then became Ruthie again for AG Nostalgia Week in May 2021. And then, in 2022, I wanted to eye swap Talia, so I gave her Ruthie's eyes and got a boy doll wig I've been looking at for a while, and so, he became Jamie, my second boy doll. Also, his middle name is Tyler because my friend kept giving me really bad name ideas, so I told him that I'd name the doll after him as a joke. Since he joined the doll family while I'm currently at college, I haven't had much time to make AGSMs with him, so I hope to establish his personality more in the future, hopefully in some videos over the summer. And that's all of my doll collection, though I would like to take a moment to talk about other dolls on my channel. My bestie Haley that you saw at the beginning of my meetup vlog has let me borrow their dolls from time to time, so we like to joke they're sort of my dolls now. They aren't really mine, but I like using them and would love to feature them in some of my videos more. And that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching and I hope you have a good day.